Taurus, how you getting on? Okay, so I do apologise, but I was halfway, well, part of the way through your reading, and then I realised that I hadn't actually hit the record button on my, and I was actually talking to myself. What do you know? We like doing that when I look at a camera. How you getting on, Taurus? So you know me by now that I always do these first, okay, and then I kind of draw upon the energy and then feel around the energy, and then normally I've been shuffling these and I draw these while I'm on camera, okay, but obviously it all got messed up, so I'm going to keep these cards out. But you had codependency, finances and career, and love yourself first, okay? Now, it seems to me, so also please, other people, so I get a lot of emails asking about Vedic astrology and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I still study stuff myself, you know. I have a Taurus descendant sign, okay, which is part of my 7th house. But when you work that out, or when you look at your Vedic chart, mine now is a Taurus moon sign, okay? So this relates to so many different things, but, you know, please make sure that you also look at your Vedic stuff, because we have different signs within our chart anyway, you know, anyway. But let's see. So you've got codependency. Okay, codependency. So because it's with finances and career, it might mean that because of codependency, meaning that you it more or less means independence and not codependent. So some of you can be codependent, okay, and some of you can be independent. It's kind of like a feel of like energy of some are on different timelines. So in order to know about money and finances and career and everything like that, we always realise within spirituality that you have to let something out to let something in, okay? So sometimes things can get way too much and we can only really concentrate on one thing, okay? Which means that you're starting to become independent and not actually codependent, okay? Codependent. And you know me also within my readings, I try to add everything, right? So codependency, attraction, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So when you start to understand these energies, you realise that a codependency is an addiction to something, okay? So you may have ended something in order for something to begin, which means a new cycle of like ending and beginning, because this to me really is a 10. It doesn't show that in these cards, that's why I don't really use them much, but it kind of means a 10, because if you're codependent, okay, it's still a 10. It means that you're either continuing to be dependent or codependent, but something has to end to let something in, you know, because you've also got it with finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, okay, right now. So they either are, or you've ended something and you've started something fresh, or you're continuing to work on something extremely hard. But at the moment, there is some kind of codependency that's going on around the career factor, or it depends on your reading here that we will look at in a second, where it means that you've let something go to let something in, and it's starting a fresh new cycle of 10, which is 1, okay? Then you've got love yourself first, obviously, okay, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, okay? So we'll see how that plays out, and below the deck you do have unrequited love. Okay, but we'll see how those tally up. So, if I didn't say, this is from the 11th to the 18th, but it's just a weekly update. So you've got 6 of Cups, the 6 of Cups. So it's like, oh, there you go. It's kind of like a return from the past. So this can either mean, literally, to do with just children. It don't have to be, so it does, because it pretty much means that you can be, we're all soulmates and we're all cut from the same cloth. So these are soulmate lessons. So it means your family, okay? So your family are going to show you more things to do with your love life or your finances or your career, or about codependency and dependency, okay? So then when we rely more on the mother or the father, okay, if it's to do with a separation of family, maybe because you do have codependency, so it depends if you're relating this to love or not, where there may be some kind of coming together for some or not, or love is just on your mind. Love is just on your mind. Codependency. Let's see. So you've got 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, so it's kind of looking good at the moment. So is the Wheel of Fortune going in your favour or out of your favour? There we go. So it's like a return from the past. So in order to let something out, you've got to let something go. There you go, codependency of 10 and 1. So 10 and 10, which is 20, which is 2. So meaning that you've stood at a crossroads trying to decide on something. And it's kind of like, okay, well, now I've let something go, okay? Because you make a decision at 2. So it could be that some have made a decision, because this can be a 1 or a 10, okay? People are going to be on different timelines. So you may have realised that you've released yourself from something that was codependent, and you've realised and you've now gone this way on the Wheel of Fortune, okay? Now it depends where you are on your timeline, because of the 6 being here, meaning reflection of the past, that some could have been pulled backwards if it's to do with love. And you could still probably be going through a lot of things of codependency, right, and not independency. Codependency or independency. It doesn't matter that this card just says codependency. It means codependent or independent. You know, we learn through both, okay? But some could be more worried about finances, career, and some could just be like, you know what, I need to love myself first. I've got more self-respect for myself. So now I am not codependent, and now I can let things come in, you know, let things come in. Two sides of the scale, okay? Whatever you're indicative with soul groups, which also means jobs and that people that are in your field of energy, your life, you know, in order to let something out, you have to let something in. So when you start to get your lesson of whatever that is within a soulmate also relationship, okay, when you understand that, also people's family, okay, things end as things begin. And this is how this reflects on a healing family issues kind of thing, you know, because like you are owed something. You're always owed something because you've got a Saturnian card. So you're always owed something, or someone has to lose something. Okay, so in soul groups of people, jobs, family, or a soulmate relationship, one has to win and one has to lose when you stop fighting, because it's a 5. Okay, so when the ego of the mind starts to reflect on, okay, well, there's just no battle really, because I've learnt my lesson, because I'm not really thinking about anything negative, I'm thinking more of positive. The Wheel of Fortune goes in your favour, and then probably, maybe, I'm not sure, out of the favour of other people. And that doesn't just have to mean your soulmate. It can. But it can mean like soulmate, meaning like where there's energy shifts, because it feels like a major energy shift, right? So you're owed something and somebody has to lose something. It don't have to be major, and you don't have to hate upon people, you know, because karma's not going to fucking really destroy someone if you're out to destroy, search and destroy, because this is like a Saturnian card. Okay, so it can mean Capricorn possibly. Because it's the Lord of Karma. So, wow, you've got... This is to do with a marriage. Okay, this is probably why I was picking up on this energy. Right, so you've got two... So the central issue of what is being discussed is something either karmically, or a marriage, or finding your own business, or finding a new spirit... I'd say it's more to do with business and finances, but it can be marriages, courts of law, all that kind of stuff, or CEOs, someone that wants to run their own business, all that kind of thing. But you've got your own sign, which is Taurus, okay? So this is going to relate to Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Now, because you've got a 10, which is a Saturnian card, backed to a 5, which means 6, okay? 1 and 5, which is 6, which can mean the Devil, which is Capricorn, and then the Lovers, which is 6, right? I think, yeah, 6 and 6, which is the Lovers, and Capricorn, which is deciding and choice, decisions and choice, codependency and dependency. There you go, codependency. Thank you. Wow, took a while to break that code, right? Codependency, because I don't know, I was just drawn straight to these numbers. So 6 is the Devil, 6 is Gemini. So you could mean, because this is Saturnian, and this means marriages, law, family, meaning family, children and family and mothers and fathers and all that kind of stuff. It could mean that the mother or the father is a Capricorn, and the father or the mother is a Gemini. It's possible, or it's in their chart. But these are two major arcana cards, 5 and 1, which is 6. And then this is like a 6 also. So it's kind of like reflecting on family issues of codependency, finances and career. Okay, and free yourself and love yourself first. Okay, self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So pretty much learning a lesson about obviously self-respect, standing up for your rights. For some people, this is like activists, activists, pessimists, all kinds. Activists, active rights, my rights. Yeah, my rights. Reading my rights. Or karmic rights, or these are my rights within this. But it also, because you've got this is looking like a really good reading. It really is. But you have codependency, right? And whatever's coming out. So not everybody, unless you get a personal reading, is really going to be on the same timeline, because you're going to have Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It's general, it's not for everybody, and it will relate in certain ways, but it may not be completely up to you. It depends on Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, okay? So I've discussed this with other ones. Rising sign would be what ends up being manifested after a certain period of time. Your moon sign is going to be more reflectant of how you've been thinking, feeling and communicating and seeing things unfold, okay? And then the feelings, your feelings are not really your soul. Your feelings are what are hurt by the mind, of what's done, what's said, what's ended, what's begun, what should have been said, what should have been done, okay? So through that you manifest confusion of mind, body and soul, okay? So we've got codependency, but it seems like a lot of child stuff at the moment that could be coming out, or it's to do with, for some, working on things on a marriage, okay? And it's come back from the past and you've got children and it's really loving and it's great, and you've decided to work on things and the wheel of fortune is going in your favor, okay, at the moment. Now, if you're not and you're like, no way, bruv, this is a 6 and it's like the devil, right? Which can mean, it doesn't matter, but it can be like codependency. It can mean like understanding about codependency of separation, dependent, codependent, being like still involved in a marriage, but there's a separation of it. So if you relate this to your love life, for Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus or different people, then that can mean like we're probably working on things more amicably, or I'm just concentrated more on my actual children, because the first card is to do with childhood issues, childhood codependency, reflection of the past, spending time with your children, nurturing your children, or there's some kind of codependency between the mother and the father, and it's a Saturnian lesson, which can mean Capricorn or Gemini, okay? It can mean like mother, father, or the father can be Taurus somewhere as well. But you've got like Taurus, Gemini, Capricorn at the moment, and water sign. So let's see. So you've got, okay, so you've got 3 of Cups. Wow. So really, for some of you, this is reconciling with, well, oh God, union and marriage. Well, the discussions are about, well, shall we give it one more go? Or shall we actually separate? But you've got like the 3 of Cups. Now, for some of you, if I don't say this and people flip out and say, there's no way, because other people could be a Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, or it might not be your timeline, okay? Now, that can mean that if you are indicative to the no way, that can mean that it's a codependency, right? Codependency. 3 of Cups, overindulgent, can mean, right? So it can mean third-party relationship. It can mean an ending, and that my partner, this side here, has their other person, and they're celebrating the fact that they're just united with this person here, okay? If the wheel goes back there, then this is a separation of different families where you're just concentrating more on children, traveling and all that kind of stuff, internet-based businesses also, traveling with children, wanting to see children or wanting to go and see them. You've got the 3 of Cups here, but if not, and it draws all round to just one really good reading where it's like, yes, my God, we've just united. I've united with my, because you've got codependency and love yourself first. So some of you, it can mean that you've just united and you're breaking through codependency patterns, because this can be like overindulgent, right? Overindulgent. So let's see what the next one is. Okay. That's strange. So you've got 6 of Pentacles, which is dividing and separating assets. So some of you could have met a great partner. If your partner's great and you've met your partner, that's great, and you're probably on holiday, you're traveling or traveled the world or something. Okay. Oh wow, I just realised that my best friend is Sagittarius and her husband is a Taurus, right? And they've just gone to America. two weeks in America, around America. But uniting, feeling happy, you know, generally celebrating with your partner, feeling good, and you're just caring for one another, giving each other a foot massage or something, a back rub, spending some quality time together, you know, buying your wife or your husband a gift, you know, also probably looking after your children or their children, because you've got, some people could have children with different marriages, because sometimes there's two lots of different children here, like two different families that one separates the time. So because you've got children and then separating of assets also, on a good spin, this is just meaning that on this side of the scale, you've got someone that has children with someone, and then you've got someone that has children with another. Okay? Now, excuse me, so thirsty today. On the bad spin, if this is a lesson, Saturnian lesson of codependency, then the lesson around that is to do with family, children, codependency, and dividing of assets, of a lesson of where one has more than the other. And then what you are probably wanting is, which is karmic justice, which could also represent Libra, where this could be Libra, where children are this side of the scale, because this can represent scales of Libra. Wow. Where there needs to be karmic justice that could be a Capricorn, or it could be the Taurus, which meaning you or someone's Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or it's the general energy that's felt around it being a decision of karma. So it can represent like dividing of assets, money, contracts. You know, I want to run my own business, but I am still contracted within this, where I get some kind of financial support by, you know, from one to the other, but maybe one child that could be involved gets more than the other children. Like if there's loads of children involved and one person has more children with the other person, then like the mother or the father give more money or attention obviously to their children, and then do you know what I'm saying? But generally that looks like a really good, but you see the trouble is that you have finances and career, financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So for some of you, because this can't relate to everybody, right now that financial issues are a factor in your love life, meaning that karmically you're still connected to something karmically of a decision, because you are stuck, where the Wheel of Fortune can be stuck maybe, where finances, and there can be a codependency of that, because there's a Saturnian lesson of, well, like I've always said for 7 years, one of the first things that I always said, which was, who is the most important person in your life? And everybody always used to say to me, my kids. Okay. You are the one that makes the decision, right? I used to hold up a glass like this. I used to say, okay, so this is your children and this is you. If you wasn't there, they would fall without you. So you're the stability that holds them up. And then we release of codependency issues of being dependent, codependent, independent, structure, God knows what else, the conditioning. We went on, but you can see those. They are going to be put up over on Patreon at some point, where I do teaching segments, But there can be where through work that you could be stuck in in front of the internet all day. You could be stuck in front of the internet all day, and that you just ended something with a soulmate, or began something with a soulmate, or you ended something that was to do with children, and it was to do with work, career, and finances and career. Okay, and you ended something, and it was a Saturnian lesson that could have lasted a long time, and there was a decision over that, and you decided to go your own way in order to do something in the caring community, and this could be literally anything. Okay, the caring community can be like this, or it can be, a carer, or someone that cares for people generally, trying to also balance out your finances and kind of think, okay, well, I've got like this business deal, I've got this business deal, I've got this going on, I've got this going on. This can just generalize in one, Taurus, because you've got a lot of internet relation stuff also, internet-based relations, and like balancing out different projects, different arts and different crafts, different people that you guide, look after. and that you're trying to raise people's spirits and do your own. Because this is someone that runs their own business as well, you see. Now, you don't have to just run your own business. You can, but you can also run different. It's a bit like the Emperor is the Hierophant as well, because they all mean like independency, you know, independent and not codependent. So this is why the codependency could be coming up for some people, because you want to be more independent and not codependent. And that's why you may have ended something for some people where it was very codependent and you didn't like working for the government, or you don't like working for the government because they control everything. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean you, Taurus, but as a card, it can mean that I need to keep control of everything. So I'm the decision maker, pretty much. So I'm the decision maker. Now, if you just relate this to Taurus, that's you, okay? If you don't, and you're just relating this to the energy, then I'm the decision maker, and that I need to make the best decision karmically for myself, because I like to work for myself, because I can make the decisions of what I know best for my energy, okay? For my energy. Because there's a lot of release. It's like a karmic shift, really, because you've got two big major arcanas, but a Saturnian lesson, because of that meaning, like Gemini and Capricorn, of what we come out with the 6, okay? Two major arcanas back to back. That's going to be like codependency and independency. You know, codependent of choice, independent of choice. Definitely. Because this can mean codependent, and this can mean codependent, you know. So what a lesson, a Saturnian lesson, is teaching someone basically, and a lot of people involved within this Saturnian lesson, because this is all your soul groups of people, and the people that you're connected with karmically, okay, that are in your energy. It's teaching everybody about independence and codependency, independency and codependency through this time period. It's more about finances and career, where things can be ending. There's energy shifts. People are going to experience different paths and different energy, like a field of energy where some may lose. I don't really see things on a losing end. You know, when you lose things karmically, I don't really know, you know, because it has to giveth, some of giveth and to taketh away, to taketh awayeth. Some of giveth and some of taketh awayeth. Right? So it means at the end of the scale, meaning that, well, someone's going to receive something, but it's probably not going to be a lot. And then the other person will probably just receive just a little bit more. You know, it depends what was taken and what was given. If there was a hell of a lot taken, then that just ends up meaning that that's really not going to be a lot. But this one pentacle here means that opportunity, okay? Opportunity meaning that you have to be grateful in life to make this a really good card, to understand that small things grow into big things. Everything in life talks about action. Action changes things. The proof is in the pudding, you know. So in order to change things karmically, you have to have action in order to change it. Yeah? And you have to, especially in a loving relationship, in a loving partnership, you know, you have to show up and prove yourself, prove yourself to who you are, you know, because you have a lot of that kind of stuff here, but you still have a lot of codependency stuff. Wow. So bottom of the deck was Ace of Cups. So a massive opportunity. That can be literally anything. Just because that's love. And what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. That can be self-love, you know, self-love. And then you've got the Queen of Cups, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And, well, what do you know? Gemini. Oh, we ain't going to go too far in that take. But, yeah. So there's a lot of love there. That can mean, like, children. When the when the court cards turn up, it can mean court decisions and law and all that sort of stuff. But it can mean people. So it can mean like children and people. And then you have got Gemini. Wow, at the moment that looks like a really good reading. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over onto the other side, and we're going to see what the rest of these cards are, and then clarify everything to see what everything actually means. And you know me, I'll break it down for everybody. Okay, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and everybody. And sometimes they get very deep and very good. So they're also very cheap, but still the same option. Everything is over on Patreon if you want to watch everything, okay? All of that streaming period, as long as you like everything, it's all over on Patreon, okay? If you just want to watch the rest of the reading, it is in your bi-weekly folder. over on Vimeo. All the links are in the description. If you want to watch your monthly's in a different folder under your monthlies. But the reason why this will go to tier 2 eventually, but at the moment through Patreon you get to watch everything that I'm putting up at the moment, literally everything. So yeah, so hopefully join us over there. It's getting a lot of great feedback. If you want a reading, please contact me in the email description below, and I'll hopefully see you over on one of those websites to do the rest of the reading. Okay, Taurus, thanks for joining the show, and I hope you're okay, and I'll catch you again soon. Peace.